What is up, YouTube? So, back here on my property, we actually towards the front of the property. We only, I guess about a quarter mile in. And I got something a little different for y'all today. Yeah, we still gonna cut some grass, but the bobcats won't be in this one. I've got a piece of equipment that I have been running. I mean, honestly, it's the tractor that I learned how to run equipment with. This old faithful here, she is rough and tough, and you just cannot kill it. Love this old tractor. It is a 1978 Kubota M4500. According to Kubota, to the serial number, it's number 524 ever made. We put the roof and the front bumper and all that on. That was built in a fab shop. Man, when I was a kid. And like I said, I've been running this thing my whole life. It has had very little maintenance. It's still original engine, original everything. Don't know the hours on it. None of that stuff works. It just keeps going, so I'm gonna keep on running it. But that being said, it's time for me to bush hog all my roads. There's a couple miles worth that got to be bush hogged, and then I've got I've got 5 food plots that I also have to bush hog, which I'll end up bush hogging those again before I chop them up to get them ready for deer season. But we got a little time today, so I'm gonna bring y'all around the property, show y'all a few of the roads, just a little bit of it here and there. It's still really wet, so I can't get to everything. Not without rutting stuff up. But go ahead and bring y'all on a ride with me and show you around. shut the camera off for a second because I don't know how well you could see it, but right there and back there, there's some water breaks, some hills in the road, and got to kind of float the bush hog over them so you don't break a shear pin on the shaft. So stopped the recording for a second, went ahead and bush hogged that section right there, and now I've made it a little further back on the property, and this is one of my food plots, which technically that road right there, I will plant one small strip of ryegrass down the side, but back there to that next hilltop, starting 30 yards in front of the tractor, that's where my food plot runs. I've got a feeder down in the bottom. And also going to that side down the hill right there, I plant another food plot. So that way during deer season, I'm hunting all three directions. This is my little stand. It's 4x6, just big enough that I can bring my kids. They're at that age, they want to go hunting with daddy, so little ladder stands and little 4x4s weren't quite big enough, so 4x6 with a couple of office chairs in it. Got some steps from a friend of mine's trailer when he moved it. They were in the back of the trailer. So since the kids, when they started, were a little young, my youngest girl was coming back here about 7 years old. So she wouldn't have to climb the ladder. We put them steps back there. So on that note, I don't know how well you can see it, but all the white section, the white tops, is what I plant in ryegrass, and you can see back there the drum sticking up for the feeder. So I'm gonna go ahead and set y'all up, and I'm gonna get all this bush hog. So that's it for that one. See if I can show you. Now, this left side over here, straight down this way, going all the way back. You can see the lines, the poles for the lines. The second one back in that bottom where those tall trees are at back there, I've got another food plot that runs parallel to those tall trees. It goes across this power line. So I still got to get that road done. and get that food plot bush hogged. But this one's cleaned up. It's all ready to be chopped up. We'll do that. I'll get it chopped next month. Get a little bit of fertilizer in the ground. That way, when we put this ryegrass down, it comes up thick and it comes up quick. So, I guess while we're back here, we'll go ahead and hop back on Old Faithful over here and run to this back food plot. We got some dark clouds rolling in, but we're gonna keep going for now. So we'll at least get this road bush hogged and get this back food plot mostly cleaned up. We'll see where we're at. We'll go from there. Let's do it. Alright, so I don't know if you can hear over the wind. Yeah, you might have stayed back here just a little bit too long because that is all rain and the wind is blowing. So I got a little bit more to do back here and I want to clean it up a little better, but hey, it's in my backyard. So I'll come back at a later date, finish this up. As for now, we about to jump back on Old Faithful and we about to book it to the front. I've still got some bush hogging to do on the road. So we're gonna keep it on the ground, take off and see how far we go before we get soaking wet. just beat the rain. I've got the truck back here on the property because I brought fuel with me, just in case I was able to stay back there, catch them other few food plots, bush hog the other 2 roads and the road going back to the pond. But yeah, that ain't gonna happen today. So in the future, we'll get another video of the other half the property. We'll show my little pond in the back. Got a little stock pond, got some catfish, bass, you know, all the good stuff. But as far as this one goes, that's a wrap. So if you like what you see, want to see some more, hit that like, hit that subscribe, and we'll see you next time.